Mayor.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for tonight's July 12th, 2022 regular Village Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alana, roll call, please.
Mayor DeBold.
Here.
Trustees Brockman.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Chapman.
Here.
Kirkland. Here. Luciano.
Here.
And Selfridge.
Here.
All right, everybody is here. We do have a quorum. We will continue on. Are there any citizens wishing to address the Village Board tonight? Seeing none, we will move into the consent agenda for the evening. Item number 1 will be approval of the regular meeting minutes from June 14th, 2022. Approval of accounts payable in the amount of $1,009,257.27. Approval of a payment in the amount of $37,286.55 to Brandenburg Electronic Systems. And approval of final payment in the amount of $93,282.54 to PT Farrell Construction for our MFT project. Is there any items that a trustee needs amended, corrected, or whatnot?
I've got one, Mayor.
Sure.
Under the resolution number 22R 1063, it's noted that Trustee Carroll made a motion and it was seconded by Trustee Carroll. I believe I was the one that motioned on that one for the land purchase agreement on page 3.
Under the meeting minutes?
And the meeting minutes, correct.
We made the correction over here already, so.
Okay.
Has already made it?
Yes, we have.
So I'll take a motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion Kirkland, second Selfridge. Roll call, please.
Carroll.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
And Brockman.
Yes.
Consent's approved. Reports and communications. Lana, have you received anything otherwise?
No, sir.
Thank you. I did not have anything that we needed to address for this evening. So we move into our order of business for the night. Item number 1 will be presentation of the March 31st, 2022 Police Pension Fund Valuation. Finance Director Burkholder.
Thank you. Here tonight to talk about our valuation for the Police Pension Fund is Heidi Andorfer from Foster & Foster. Some of you maybe remember her colleague Jason Franken. He has come in the past to take us through our valuation. We are required each year to have a valuation performed on the Police Pension Fund. So this is no different than any other year, but Heidi is here to take us through the most interesting parts of the valuation report.
And I do recognize the irony in that.
We get it. As long as you do too, that's all that matters.
I appreciate your time tonight, allowing me to go through the report with you. I believe you have a copy of the report there in front of you. And I'm going to turn you to page 5 of that report. This is sort of the bottom line on top here, showing you the prior year numbers in the right-hand column, the current year numbers in the left-hand column. You could see that the contribution this year, the recommendation went up to $828,000, almost $829,000. That's about a 7% increase year over year from last year. That was attributable to some assumption changes that we had implemented into the fund this year, just to better track what we expect future experience to look like. There was an experience study done that supported the use of some updated assumptions specifically related to retirement rates and such that did increase the liability a little bit, which ultimately flows through to the contribution. If we look to page 8 of that same report, you could see the funded status there. Again, focusing on that leftmost column. The right-hand column will be last year's number. The middle column is what the numbers would have been had we not implemented those assumption changes. You could see you went from a funded status of 82.5% last year up to 83.3% this year, inclusive of those assumption changes. That's very good. Most funds are not this well funded. We'd like to see continued progress towards the 100% funding, but there's very few funds even as high as yours at this point in time. So you should feel very good about where the fund stands at this point in time. The contribution calculation on page 10 of that report gets into some of the detail about what comprises that contribution. So on page 10, you can see that in section E, There's a normal cost number, which is the value of your active officers earning 1 year of pension benefits. So that's an annual cost to you as they accrue benefits in the pension fund. The cost to administer the fund is another component of that pension contribution. And then that would be offset by the expected member contributions here, about $282,000. In a perfect world, if you were fully funded, that would be your annual contribution. You'd just annually keep pace with the contributions that keep up with the accruals of those actives. However, you do have a little bit of unfunded, less than most funds, so your contribution is lower than most funds here. But in the middle of that column there, you could see a number of $337,000, about 41% of the recommended amount is effectively a mortgage on that unfunded liability. So it's liability that actives have earned benefits and the inactives too have earned benefits on, but not yet been paid for through the assets and contributions. And so that gives you a recommended contribution amount of $828,000. If we look to section F there at the bottom of that page, I want to point out that you are funding the recommended numbers. That's a big indication to me of the health of the fund, almost more than the funded status in some cases, although your funded status is certainly indicative of the health of this fund. The fact that the village is actually contributing the numbers that we're coming to you with each year is a very good sign that the fund is successful and will continue to be so. So that's good news to see. Always like to see that as the actuary. I'm going to flip you to one last page that I'd like to walk through, and then I'll open it up to any questions. On page 14 of our report, we do show a reconciliation of last year's contribution to this year, if you were curious what increased that contribution year over year. Specifically, we did have a couple things that did cause increases to that related to experience. The active decrements, specifically the fact that you had a retirement, did increase that contribution year over year by about $38,000. The assumption changes, as I mentioned, that we implemented increased the contribution about $31,000. But then anytime you do have mortality in the fund here, you could see a decrease to that contribution about $22,000 just due to mortality in the fund year over year. Now, we do have assumptions that predict these things, but they predict them as a percent of each person. So when we have discrete incidents happen, retirements, deaths, and such, you will see a little bit of noise and gain loss in these funds, and that's what you're seeing here. So overall, we did see a slight increase. With that, are there any questions about the police pension fund?
Doesn't appear to be any.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you for coming in this evening and presenting this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item number 2, consideration for approval of the purchase of equipment and payment in the amount of $56,202 to New Toy Leisure Products for Diana Street Park reconstruction. Public Works Director Noriel Noriega.
Thank you, Mayor. So we held an open house on January 23rd for residents and staff to be able to present and look at what we're what our conceptual drawings and renderings to provide comment and even give suggestions on the plans. So the residents were presented 2 different conceptual drawings. They provided input and comments, and they also provided their vote on which concept they had liked the most. So to also take advantage of our government pricing. So we are part of the Omnia Partnership, provides government pricing to municipalities. We are presenting to you the New Toys proposal in the amount of $56,202. So this is just for the purchase of the equipment. The final plans and construction documents are anticipated to be presented to you after we go for a bid, which is scheduled for mid-August. New Toys is already the equipment is already used at our West Shore and our Windstone parks. The budget allocates almost $190,000, almost $200,000 for this project. So staff is recommending the village board approve the purchase and payment of the New Toys proposal in the amount of $56,202. Any questions?
Any idea what installation's gonna cost? Any
We are
ballpark
estimating,
number?
we're ballparking everything as part of the construction that we still fall near budget, that $190,000.
When you give us the 200,000 budgeted, you're just talking about the Diane Park right now.
Diane Park,
So the other park is separate.
that
totally
is separate, yes.
Okay.
And will construction for this park or either of these take place this year still, or will this end up having to be a next year
They're
construction.
hoping to put everything together for construction and completion this year.
Very good.
Does this dollar amount include taking apart the old park? Is that
There's a
included?
bid in the alternate bid that we will be asking for that, when we put the contracts together.
Can Public Works tear it down, the old stuff?
Again, we're asking for an alternate bid so that it's all-inclusive with the contract. If it comes in a little bit on the high side, what we don't like, we don't have to accept it, so we'll have two parks, and of course, Public Works can schedule to try to take that down.
Okay.
There'll still be difficulties trying to get rid of and disposing of the equipment properly, but that is an option.
Okay.
Is there much we have to do to that lot? Because that's not where the park is today, right, on Diane
There's a
Street?
little bit of grading, yes.
Not a lot, though.
A little bit. Now, we have to make sure, we're in design now. They provided us 85% plans already for the site. They didn't give us, we did get a survey, so we do have topographic survey, so that will be shown in the plans and finalized on how much we have to cut or moving dirt as part of the project.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Make a motion to approve the purchase of equipment and payment in the amount of $56,202 to New Toys Leisure Products for Diana Street Park reconstruction.
A second.
Motion Kirkland, second Trustee Carroll. Roll call, please.
Chapman.
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
And Carroll.
Yes.
All right, item number 2 is approved. We move into item number 3, consideration for approval of the purchase of equipment and payment in the amount of $64,806 to New Toys Leisure Products for Kitts Corner. Public Works Director Noriega.
Thank you again, Mayor. So everything very similar to Diana Park. So we are, again, looking to purchase the equipment, and the proposal you have in front of you is from New Toys. Their proposal is in the amount of $64,806 for just the equipment. Similar to Diana, we held an open house. Residents were able to view 2 different concepts. They voted it, provided comment. We will be going into a schedule for construction later this year. We're anticipating a bid in mid-August. Available for any questions. The staff is recommending the village board approve the purchase and payment of the New Toys proposal in the amount of $64,806. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. What is on the ground there? Is that sand or what's the,
It is engineered mulch for the park playground itself.
what's the life expectancy of that?
We have to refreshen it on a yearly basis or every 2 years. Staff does inspect it. So for our parks our current parks this year that we have in existence, staff does half in the beginning of the year in spring, and then we do the other half as needed in the fall.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And make a motion to approve the purchase of equipment and payment in the amount of $64,806 to New Toys Leisure Products for Kitts Corner Park reconstruction.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Selfridge. Roll call, please.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
And Chapman.
Yes.
All right, item number 3 has been approved. Moving on to item number 4, consideration for approval of an ordinance extending the conditional use for the planned unit development at 1006 Geneva Street, the village of Shorewood County. It's also known as United Engineering Hawkeye Energy Solutions. This item is up for a first read, and Ms. Engel.
Sure. Thank you. On July 14th, 2020, the village board approved an ordinance granting a planned unit development for 1006 Geneva. 1006 Geneva is owned by Morgan Ann Properties. Gary Powers, who is in the audience, is the principal of that. And they have a company called United Engineering. They do business as Hawkeye Engineering Solutions too. They wanted to enlarge their space by adding on an addition that would be connected to their existing building. So we did a PUD on that 2 years ago. Then the pandemic and construction prices and everything hit, and it just didn't become feasible to build the building. So the construction hasn't started. The way our zoning ordinance reads, PUD is good for 2 years unless construction starts, at which point we can revoke it or they can request an extension. The property owner would like to request an extension, so he's got another year if he's able to build that addition on. And then if it takes another year and he's still not able to build it, then he'll come back and request another extension if he wants to move forward. But at this point, he's hoping to go forward within the next year with the building addition. Nothing really changes, we just give him a little bit more time.
And if I recall, when we did this in 2020, from what I saw in the notes, this had 6-0 support at the time. This was an addition on a property over there off Geneva and Earl, right over there.
Correct.
So.
Right now, the property has a storage use in back where people park their RVs and things like that. Essentially, what they would do is they would remove that storage yard and they would put a building addition on.
Any other questions? If not, make a motion to approve an ordinance extending a conditional use for a planned unit development at 1006 Geneva, Village of Shorewood, and waive the second read.
Second.
Motion Brockman, second Kirkland. Roll call, please.
Luciano.
Yes.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
And Kirkland.
Yes.
All right, the item 4 is approved. And number 5, be consideration for approval of the purchase of 20 WatchGuard body-worn cameras and payment of $20,515 due at purchase from Motorola Solutions for the Police Department. Chief Arnold.
Thank you, Mayor. So for several years now, the police department has been researching body cameras. With the passage of the Safety Act last year, that was expedited a bit. We had a need to do it by 2025, but because of what has happened in the last 2 years, we realized the necessity to probably have those sooner than later. It protects us for liability, it protects our officers, gives a good view of what's going on, and it allows us to have a defense on certain claims. So we went ahead with the research that had been started. Just before I got here, we switched our in-car cameras to the WatchGuard systems, and WatchGuard also offers a body camera solution. It would be easily put together with the in-car cameras. Basically, the body-worn camera replaces the microphone that the officers currently wear, so it acts as both a microphone and a body-worn camera. It was the best solution for pricing and convenience and compatibility with what we currently have. So staff is requesting approval to order 20 of the WatchGuard body-worn camera systems. This year's price will be $20,515. That is part of a 5-year plan with Motorola to buy those. The total over 5 years is $67,555. So this year's $20,515 would be the highest amount. From this point on, every year we would be required to pay $11,760 to keep up with that program. That includes the cameras, all necessary equipment, the redaction software, the storage, and everything that we would need.
And at least with this program, with this brand, it ties in with our squad cars, a little more universal, and one vendor, correct?
One vendor. Also, besides tying with our squad cars, our current reporting system is also owned by Motorola, so we hope that those in the future will all tie in together.
So the whole thing can integrate.
Yes.
Very nice. Any questions for the chief?
I have one. Does this entitle to the upgrades if there are any down
Yes,
the
for
road?
5 years. So basically, we're leasing these.
Okay.
So all upgrades are given to us at no additional cost.
Okay,
Is the total number you'll have is just 20?
Just 20, yes.
Okay.
okay. I'm good.
Okay.
If there's no other questions, I'll motion for the approval of the purchase of 20 WatchGuard body-worn cameras and payment of $20,515 due at the purchase from Motorola Solutions for the police department.
A second.
Motion Selfridge, second Carroll. Roll call, please.
Selfridge.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
And Luciano.
Yes.
All right, item number 5 is approved. Item number 6 will be consideration for approval of the purchase of 2 2022 police interceptors in the amount of $87,254.48 from Durazio Ford for the police department. Chief Arnold.
Thank you, Mayor. In the budget, we had approved 2 vehicles to be purchased to replace our aging vehicles. Both have over 100,000 miles. After the budget was approved, we went over to Tirapelli to place the order. We were told by the corporate manager there that we had missed the window of ordering Ford Interceptors. They'd already shut down because of the problems that they're having getting chips and other equipment for the processing of the vehicles. We asked if they would be able to locate the vehicles for us as they did last year. If you remember last year, they also couldn't get us a vehicle, but they were able to locate one in Wisconsin. The corporate manager didn't believe that was feasible. He didn't feel confident that they could do that. We contacted Durazio, who had ordered 12 additional extra police interceptors equipped with certain equipment on them because they knew this was going to come. They were able to get 2 of those for us. The rest went to Joliet, another agency that also had the same problem that we had. So we also asked him about next year's order. He said he hopes to get us back in the rotation for the 2024 models. And I'm not really sure what's happening with these chips and the things, but we're hoping to get back with Tirapelli. Certainly not our desire to go outside of Shorewood, but at this point we really didn't have a choice other than to do that. So we're lucky to find 2 available to fill our need for this year. So we're requesting approval to purchase 2 2022 Ford Interceptor and the associated warranties for a total of $87,254.48. And the additional warranties that we have are what our Public Works has requested or suggested that we do. It's a bumper-to-bumper warranty to cover anything up to 5 years and 100,000 miles on the vehicles.
And these were budgeted items, so.
They are budgeted.
Any questions?
My only question was why we were going out of town, and you already answered it, so.
Go.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of two 2022 Ford Police Interceptors in the amount of $87,254.48 from Durazio. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Ford for the police department with the premium care extended warranty.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Selfridge. Roll call, please.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
And Selfridge.
Yes.
All right, item number 6 been approved. Moving into our department reports, building. Mr. Dudash.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one thing, update on the Verton House on Black Road. I continue to be in contact with the representative of the property, and he assures me he's got 1 bid already, and he's working on a second. But he's very responsive to my phone calls, and he is working on getting that whole thing demolished.
I saw they took down a bunch of debris and trees around the property, so
Yeah,
it looks like we're making some progress and getting started and
yeah,
getting something done on
it's
it.
slow. He's dealing with a lot of issues, but he is making progress.
Very good. Any questions for building? Thank you. Community development.
Thank you. Our comprehensive planning group has made some good updates regarding our goals and objectives. They've got a 10, 15-page list of goals related to housing, community facilities and services, community character, economic development, natural resources, mobility and transportation, infrastructure, land use, and growth. So staff is in the process of reviewing this. We're going to meet as a development coordination meeting tomorrow, go through the list to make sure all the department heads have had a chance to look at it, as well as the engineer. And then we'll be sending the list out to all of you for your input to see if you agree with the goals and objectives, if you have other suggestions as well. We've also scheduled a steering committee meeting on Thursday, July 19th at 7 p.m. We're going to be holding the meeting at the Troy Township Hall on Sile Road. Several of the board members and the Planning and Zoning Commission members have said that they would like to be more involved in the process. So we thought we would open it up to everybody and have a joint meeting in case you would like to attend. So we'll post that as a joint meeting of the Village Board, Plan Commission, and Steering Committee. And then if you would like to attend the event and participate, you're encouraged to. We think that you guys know the community better than anybody else, and you can give us some good input. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. It's absolutely optional for you. But that's Thursday, July 19th at 7 p.m. And then there's
July 19th is Tuesday.
Tuesday, July. I just looked at that. Tuesday, July 19th.
I just wanted to make sure, because
any questions on that one?
You said Tuesday, next?
Tuesday. I am
next
so
Tuesday.
sorry. It is
Right.
Tuesday.
Yes.
All right.
And then we will be having a Planning and Zoning Commission on Wednesday, August 3rd at 7 p.m. also. We're expecting to hold a public hearing that evening to discuss the proposal for the Hamptons development, which is being proposed by Kipling Development Group.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you. Finance?
Thank you. As we had, or I had included in a memo a bit back, the state did impose a grocery sales tax holiday that began on July 1st and goes through next June 30th. The state does make local units of government whole, municipalities, on that grocery amount, so we should not notice a diminishment in our sales tax returns as a result of that. Additionally, beginning August 5th August 5th and going through the 14th, on that 9-day period, there will be a back-to-school sales tax holiday for certain clothing and school supply items that meet certain price criteria. Again, that sales tax holiday amount only applies to the state's portion of sales tax, so the village wouldn't see a diminishment as a result of that holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. Parks?
Good evening. We'd like to thank everyone who attended our cardboard boat regatta on Saturday, especially the Troy Fire Department and our Public Works Department. Without them, it wouldn't have been a success. Party in the Park will continue through the end of July. We have Whiskey Fist this Thursday. Next Thursday, we have a showing of the movie Encanto, and we wrap up the month with the Hat Guys. And also occurring on Thursdays through the end of the summer, we have our artisan market from 5 to 9 p.m. every Thursday out here in the square. We've been adding new vendors every week, so be sure to come check that out. And our annual family campout will be August 19th to 20th. Registration is now open on our village website.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over to the police department. Chief, anything else?
No additional report.
All right, thanks. Public Works?
Thank you, Mayor. So staff is allocating a lot of time on the cleanup along River Road with the overgrowth of brush. We're pushing that back. We're also picking up litter and garbage along the frontage roads. You'll even see us that we've been out on 52 with the new tractor and our boom mower cutting down the weeds. We're trying to clean up these areas, these high attention areas. Along Route 52, the detention basin that is just east of the CVS and along River Road where we call it the Ranchwood Detention Basin. We've been cleaning up all the low flow concrete channels, all the debris that have been collected over the years to allow better flow in these basins. So we've been cleaning those areas up. We also restarted our water meter replacement program. So in just the last 2 weeks, we replaced almost 40 meters. So a little bit of an update for a future project here along 52. IDOT at the railroad crossing will be performing a crossing full closure and crossing repair. So right now that's scheduled for August 8th through the 14th. It's right after the Crossroads Fest. It is a full closure. They have 2 detours that are set up, one for the regular vehicles, which is 52, going up on northbound on County Line to Caton Farm, back down to Route 59 and back down to 52. But the truck traffic is going to be detoured a little bit, a longer route in the area. So it's actually on 52 to Illinois 47, to Illinois 71, 126, back down to Route 59. So it is a long detour for the trucks.
If they take it.
They have not provided any new update, but they are scheduled for August 8th through the 14th. And I say that because many of the other IDOT projects in the area either have stopped or significantly slowed because the aggregate union strike that is currently ongoing. As of today, it's day number 35. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Village Administrator Klima.
So a couple items. First off, piggybacking on what Noriel said about the aggregate strike, the building is delayed. So we're going to definitely be past our August 2nd insurance date, so you will see on the consent agenda next time, we'll be paying for an additional year of construction insurance, and then whatever we don't use, we'll have prorated back to us. So I didn't want to do 3 months or 6 months. I really hope we're done by then, but just to be safe, we just do it for the year and get a prorated return. The collective bargaining agreements still are ongoing. We met with the 150 group today. They're progressing, nothing to report. We're not ready for executive session to discuss it. We meet again with the Public Works on the 20th and the police officers on the 26th. So probably in early August, we'll be back to you and with something on that. Last but not least, everybody knows the fest is coming up. There's been a lot of commentary and concern about problems in other places, so we will have enhanced security measures. You know, we had discussed that this year the format is going to change. We will be snow fencing in the entire fest area, not just the beer tent, so it'll be a more of an open venue. Last year, you know, we dispensed with the big tent, and we had and that was met with, you know, wide, you know, acceptance, and we hope to provide this other thing. So the police department's got another things. You'll see more high visibility police officers there and at the parade. We have taken in all the considerations from everybody, and we're doing our best to provide a safe experience and make everyone as comfortable as we can at these events.
Questions? No. Very good, thank you. We'll move into our trustee comment section. Trustee Brockman.
Natalie described our next meeting in August for planning and zoning. Other than that, no report.
Very good.
Thank you.
Trustee Carroll.
No report.
Trustee Chapman.
Just one thing, I'm sure everybody got the same letter that I got from a guy named Brad over in Camelot about the trucks still getting into Camelot, and I don't know if staff had discussed it.
So, yeah, so in response, everybody got the same email. The chief, Public Works Director Noriel, and Aaron have kind of been following up, trying to come up with some other solutions, try to see if there's any type of different signage or anything. So, but they are aware of it. They're trying to see if anything else. Part of it also appears that they're maybe trying to work with the building owner right there on the corner, that some of the trucks where the entrance for that facility is. So there's a combination of things, whether it's road signs and building signage. So to help clarify that is what seems to be the trend right now, but they are evaluating it.
To me, it's almost impossible to miss the sign, yellow light flash, and even in the middle of the night. I mean, it doesn't, you're always gonna have somebody.
We understand.
That's asleep at the wheel, but I just want to know if
everybody's got it, yes.
Okay. Other than that, nothing.
Very good, thank you. Trustee Kirkland.
Thank you. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Public Works guys who were down on Summer Street yesterday. They were doing a partial tree removal. One of our big oak trees that's in the right of way, Sunday afternoon, a third of it just fell over. And fortunately, it did not fall in the street, but it was in a couple people's yards. And they came down there and made it look pretty easy. They cleaned it up and did a great job. And so I just wanted to shout out to them. And also, I would like to send my condolences to the family of Ken Jasak. Ken was a longtime resident of Shorewood who passed away unexpectedly on June 23rd. He served as our village treasurer from 1994 till 2004, and also oversaw the Shorewood Police Pension Fund during that time as well. Ken was a great asset to our community, a great guy, and I just wanted to pass along condolences. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Luciano.
As you know, the Citizens Advisory Committee does not meet during the summer months, but we will be reconvening back in September 22nd, and at that time, we'll have the library making a presentation. So that's all I have right now.
Very good, thank you. And Trustee Selfridge.
No report, Mayor.
No problem. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Chapman. Roll call, please.
Carroll. Chapman.
Yes.
Kirkland,
Yes.
Luciano,
Yes.
Selfridge,
Yes.
and Brockman.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned.